one of the most important concepts when we engage in self-inquiry and try to understand the mind and ourselves is the concept of the separate self or the ego. I like to call it the I thought because it is I who creates an identity with thought. And it is actually easier to see it that way. And I want to talk about how this develops and how we disidentify from this I thought. Let's take a journey through the baby stage, maybe toddler, adolescence, and adulthood that we go through. A baby is a fresh mind, we could say, even if we accept that there might be some prior conditioning from another life or any other metaphysical model that we may follow and resonate with. A baby is a fresh mind in the body. And it creates this patterning over time because through the senses and interaction with the world, the mind becomes this patterning tool or aspect of the experience. So that's why a baby has this beautiful, attractive innocence that they radiate because they are pure awareness, and it's slowly collapsing into a structuring mind. This goes over a long period of time, and by the age of maybe 4 or 5, they're already kind of structure. And when we say that, oh, they become reasoning now, actually the mind has been collapsing or structuring itself, which is a normal process for all of us. And the function of the mind is to create memories out of patterns that it perceives, and it will make reference to these memories for further uses. That is a very clever way for the body to survive and to understand reality, its interaction with the world. So this patterning becomes the prevalent part of the experience of the toddler. And as it moves on with time, it begins to identify with this patterning structure or this structuring of reality through memory. And it is a function. It is a vital function for, well, functioning in life. And the thing is that once we begin to associate with this, then it becomes our only reliable sense of self. And through the adolescent ages, which is very common, not everybody, but most of us develop this very rigid attitude that we know everything, right? That's the cliche that teenagers, they know everything. Because there is a strong association with the patterning that they have been learning. And so because the body seeks pleasure and not unpleasurable experiences, this is a very survival necessity. We need to survive by knowing what harms us and what doesn't. And so the body seeks pleasure and avoids unpleasant things. The mind doesn't like ignorance, it likes knowing, patterning, memories, so it can be safe. The body feels safe through pleasure and comfort. The mind feels safe through knowledge and understanding. So these two, which are vital functions of experience, body and mind, we become associated with those. And this is the program that runs through our whole life. As adults, we continue to identify with all the memories that we've had and all the patterns, which include, of course, our bias, our conditions, our proclivities, preferences, and so on. All of this is related to body and mind. We are strongly associating with the natural functions of body and mind. And so we create the idea of the separate self based on the I thought. Now, how does this reflect in our personality? Well, there are, of course, natural and welcome associations with our preferences that are needed for us to function and live in a way that is consonant with what we want. But there are others that are destructive, and they are disruptive also of the flow of life. And so here's where we get into negative emotions and patternings that we necessarily don't like, but are part of ourselves. Through this path, what we do is recognize this false I that has been created, which is an identity with the functioning of the mind, the structuring part of the mind, which again, it's necessary, but it's not who we are. And so we uproot this identity with the I thought, recognize it as just another thought that is identifying with the processes of the mind, and allow everything to run through, positive or negative. We don't care, because we are returning attention and identity to its source. This will allow things to be released that are not necessary, and to maintain those that are consonant with what we are. It is a simple understanding of who we truly are. How do we do this? We first need to ask the question, who am I? In the moment, as the mind continues this running process, and return attention back to the sense of self, the sense of I. Noticing how there is a tendency for myself to move to the mind and associate with the narrative, and then we return it back to the self. This will weaken the strong association that we have with identity with thought. And it'll start to reduce all the wrong preferences that we have to engage in these negative activities or behaviors or thought patterns. Because, as we know, this is the process of unknowing. We don't know anymore what we are, because that is based on memory. And even the things that we believe that we are proud, or that gives us a jolt of excitement, we don't know either. If that's truly what our real personality is, then it won't go away. Nothing to fear about. Because that's one of the fears that arise in this process. As we begin to let go of everything, the first question that comes up is, am I going to lose my personality? Yes, you will lose part of your personality, but it's all those things that are not consonant with yourself. Because, as I said, the mind and the body are tools to navigate experience and create a consonant, true, spontaneous personality in interaction with the world. But because we wrongly associated ourselves with the patterning of the mind, which obviously creates the preferences for the body and the mind, of bodily pleasure and mental knowledge, we associate it only with the structuring, the patterning function of the mind. That's the only thing that we need to retract from. Because as we do, we lose the rigidity that we somewhat needed to maintain a personality. And we realize that I am before that. And I am independent of that, which is just memory. And as we retract from it, we begin to see all those things that are not consonant. And it's just easy to let go, because a higher understanding, a deeper intelligence, is able to say, that's not who I am. That's not what I like doing. And it goes away naturally, spontaneously, or effortlessly. That is the most important thing about realizing who you truly are, and to start liberating these thought patterns that only through memory do we associate with them, even if they are not consonant with who we are. It takes just one step, only one practice. We call that meditation. We can also call it returning to who we are. That's all that is needed, and it's just a constant reinforcing of this recognition, of this understanding, so you can begin to become that which you already have been, but now in a more liberated way. That's what everybody wants, and that's definitely what you want in this path. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope, as always, that this is helpful, especially in this topic of realizing who we truly are, so we can let go of these patternings that memory has been making us attached to, because we think that we're going to lose our personality if we don't question that. It's a very, very important process of us becoming liberated from all those things that we don't want and that we know that are present in our lives. And also for allowing our true personality to shine through. And it's just because it feels peaceful, it feels joyful to be who we truly are without all the things that we are not. If you resonate with this path and you want to learn more and how to practice it and become more involved and deepen your meditation practice, go to my school community. Down below, you'll find a link to go and join the community. And if you need guide, if you need help through this, don't hesitate to book a call with me, a one-on-one, where we will go through everything that you feel you're experiencing right now that is not truly consonant with what you want, how to deepen your practice, and we will discuss all of this there to see if we're a good fit to do anything together. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.